Hi friends, it's Jackie from Gloria Day here in Toma again, returning with God Always Keeps His Promises by Max Lucado. Now, if you joined us last week, you'll remember that we talked about how God has created us in His image to be just like Him. And today we are going to talk about how God always wins the battle. Now, in a minute, we're going to look at Genesis chapter 3, but to start with, we're going to focus on Romans chapter 16, verse 20. Then God, who brings peace, will soon defeat Satan and give you power over him. Now, do you ever feel like you're fighting a battle? You try to do what's right, but it's just so hard. It's like there's someone fighting you, trying to trick you into doing something you know you shouldn't do, like stealing your sister's video game, or maybe lying to your mom so you don't get in trouble. Well, there is someone out there trying to trick you. His name is Satan, but he goes by other names too, like the devil and the father of lies. He's the ultimate villain, the crookedest crook, and the baddest of the bad guys. And he's only got one mission in mind: to make God's children, which is you, lose in their battle to do what's right. But God gives you a promise for this fight. In the end, it's the devil who will lose. No, that doesn't stop him from trying to fight. After all, the devil has been at it for a really long time, since the time of Adam and Eve. But always remember this: the days may be tough, and the fight may be terrible, but God will win. Let's take a look at chapter 3, and there's Eve. It was a beautiful day in the garden. Adam and Eve wandered among the trees. They nibbled on berries and scratched the elephant behind his ear. God had given them a fresh new world, and everything in it was good, except that snake. Of course, this was no ordinary snake. This was that sneaky old devil himself. He hid in the trees and waited to spring his trap. When Eve passed by, he called out, "Did God really say you can't eat any fruit from any tree?" "No, we can eat any fruit," Eve said, "except fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden. If we even touch it, we'll die." Actually, God didn't say they couldn't touch it, but Eve was not about to take her chances. "You won't die," the snake hissed out a lie. "It'll make you as wise as God. God just doesn't want you to be as smart as him." Eve looked at the snake and then at the fruit. It did look delicious, and she wouldn't mind being as wise as God. So she picked a piece. She sniffed it, and her mouth watered. Then she closed her eyes and took a bite. Still chewing, she gave it to Adam, and he took a bite too. They had done the one thing that God said they must not do. At once, everything changed. There was definitely a chill in the air. Adam and Eve suddenly saw that they were naked. Snatching up fig leaves, they quickly started sewing. Just as they were putting the finishing touches on their leafy new wardrobe, they heard something, or rather, someone. It was God walking through the garden. Adam and Eve ran to hide. "Adam," God called out, "where are you?" Adam gulped. "I was afraid because I'm naked," he said, "so I hid." "Well, who told you you were naked?" God asked. "Did you eat the fruit I told you not to eat?" Of course, God already knew the answer. He knew that sneaky snake, Satan, had tempted them to do it. Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the snake. But God punished them all. From that day forward, sin, sickness, and even death came into the world, and Satan would forever be the enemy of God's people. But something else happened that day too. God gave his people a promise. The devil will lose. No matter how much he lies or how hard he fights, God and those who trust him will win. You may not know this, but you're a soldier, and every day you fight in a battle. It's a battle between good and evil. The thing about battles is that it's important to know who your enemy is, to know what he wants and how he fights. Your enemy is the devil. The weapons are lies and tricks and temptations. He makes good things look bad and bad things look good. And he wants you to think you're all alone in this fight, that God isn't there for you, that he isn't even real. But that's a lie. The truth is, God never leaves you to fight the battle alone. He fights right beside you, and he gives you a special armor too, the armor of his promise. One of the promises is about the battle that will end. The devil is going to lose, and God will win the battle. Now our promise to God today says that though the devil will try to trick and trap me, I will trust God to fight for me and to win. So as you go into the rest of your week, remember that God is by your side and he will help you fight your battles. No matter how big or how small they are, how scary they are, God is right beside you and he is going to keep you safe and he's going to help you win that battle. So go fight strong this week and have a great time.